good evening, morning, or whatever the heck it is at your time zone, ladies and gentlemen. This is February 21st, 2011, and it is your Midnight Squadron podcast. Today, we are talking about Midnight Squadron. That's right. We're talking about the guild hosting the podcast because that sounds like a fantastic segment. I don't claim to know how great this is going to be, but it will most certainly be the greatest thing you've ever heard. Sex for your ears, in fact. It will be awesome. I'm just joking. This is going to be absolutely terrible. I can pretend like I have a plan for tonight, but my schedule for this podcast episode literally says, talk about Midnight Squadron from my point of view. Talk about TOR, talk about Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2, and then talk about the rest of the games that the the guild is focusing on. So I suck at this. Someone needs to take my job away. I'm serious. But introductions aside, that was an introduction. Expect greatness like that every time I touch the mic. I'm just saying. I guess I don't know. What do I want to talk about first? This is fun. This is a brand new world to me. All right. So, Midnight Squadron from my point of view, right? I could tell you that Midnight Squadron is a clan that's been around since 1995. I could tell you all of its various accolades. I could tell you its meritorious achievements in the gaming world. But you know what? I'd rather just tell you about, sort of what I've seen from Midnight Squadron since I've been here. I mean, last episode when I was talking to Genio, we talked about Midnight Squadron, what were our first impressions. And I don't know. I mean, I guess since I've been here, it's sort of been like strife for no reason. Yeah. I think that a lot of people freak out and take this really seriously, which it's a good thing that they do, because that really shows promise. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it shows that they care about... I got to scratch my nose. Hold up. Okay, I just used the mic to scratch my nose. Awesome. It really shows promise. The whole basis of Midnight Squadron is just to have a gaming community, not so much a guild. You know what I'm saying? Like sort of like a community that grows into a family. It's a really cool place to be at. And I mean, from what I've seen, they do it pretty well. I mean, I could tell you about the divisions that die. I could tell you about the freakouts that some of the upper management have every other day. I'm just playing with you, buddy. And I mean, but that's really not what it's all about. I enjoy being here, and I think everyone that is here enjoys being here. And if they don't enjoy being here, we know about it because they leave. They're not here anymore. It's that easy. The problem is people take it way too seriously. And see, I said this is a good thing. Now it's a bad thing. And it sort of burns people out, upper management. I think an easier way to do things in Midnight Squadron would be to simply dumb it down and say, hey, okay, what are things people like? Okay, people like easily accessible community projects. Case in point, League of Legends. League of Legends, instantly accessible for everybody. Everybody can play it. Everybody can have fun doing it. And they don't have to, but it's there, and everyone's invited. Not that many people in Midnight Squadron play it, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, the best thing Midnight Squadron can do, and the best thing it has done, and I'm speaking from experience. This isn't like a suggestion or anything. This is something that Midnight Squadron actually does. Is that it constantly finds ways to keep people enthralled, whether it's Cleric's Bakery project for the Templar/Secret World division, whether it's I don't know, Trenzine offering his help, shameless plug, or just something like that. It's a vicious cycle. It really is, because what the upper management needs to understand is that people enjoy being here, and if they didn't enjoy being here, they would let you know in the form of not being here anymore. If they have something going on in their life, then they're out. And I realize I'm really treading over ground that I've already discussed like a couple times in the last like 5 minutes. But the fact of the matter is, you need to get through your head. Everyone's trying to complicate things. Everyone's trying to make these, these medal systems where people get rewarded for doing things, and people sort of, I don't know what's the word, make a mountain out of a molehill. Really, I mean, there's no problem. The only problem, and I wouldn't even call it a problem that we have, is recruiting. We just don't have enough new recruits coming in, because this is really a sort of a community effort where the more the merrier. It's all about the numbers, baby. Quality over quantity, but still you got to have numbers. You could have all the quality you want in the two dudes that are there, but I mean, that's not very fun when it comes to roundtable conversation. So I mean, that's where Midnight Squadron is right now from my point of view. It's a bunch of people running around with their chickens with their heads cut off, when in fact they're sitting with a KFC bucket in their laps. That wasn't a very good analogy, but you get what I'm trying to say. How about this? It's like Michael Myers attempting to have sex with Chris Farley for some reason. That doesn't make sense either. But, I mean, you probably just laughed, right? That's good. So, Midnight Squadron, after all of these projects that we try to complete on a daily basis, scratching my nose again. Okay, I'm good. Oh, God. There we go. Man, I just did yard work the other day, and I got poison ivy on me. Oh, bitch. Damn it, I just cussed again. Then I cussed because I cussed. That's awesome. Let's just go past that. Sorry, Cav. I'm going to do that once every episode. It's not going to be intentional. It's going to be hilarious, though, because I'm going to say a bad word, and people are going to be like, bad word. So the first game to talk about. I think this game is probably the most anticipated game for the Midnight Squadron as a whole. The Old Republic. I just see the most interest in this game. Second only, or first only, with Guild Wars 2 being like right behind it. We'll get to that, though. We got a lot to talk about in all games. But the Old Republic, for the time being, I think there's residual down. I'm not going to try making up words. I'm not going to do Sarah Palinisms. Let's go ahead and just say that with the Old Republic right now, we're sort of at a standstill because we haven't seen any real solid gameplay footage. They like showing us things like a Jedi healing, like on WoW, or they like showing us things like really bad animations of Sith warriors launching themselves at a robot and then the robot falling apart even though the lightsaber misses it by a freaking windmill. I mean, they like to show us these things that they're apparently proud of, but I don't know. Yet somehow the community, I'm not just talking about Midnight Squadron, I'm talking about everyone, is still extremely excited about this game. You know why? One word, one company, BioWare. That's right. The people who shit diamonds and platinum. I just said another cuss word. Sue me. The thing is, man, they just make good projects. The Old Republic will undoubtedly be played, and people will undoubtedly enjoy the story of the game. The question is, will the story be persistent enough, and will it persist long enough to where people will remain interested after they get done with whatever story they have at the time being? I know that like DC Universe Online has a pretty damn cool story as far as comic books go, and people are enjoying that, but the gameplay is sort of niche, whatever you want to call it. I like to say niche, I think. Niche is the right word. Niche. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. This is what happens when you get a guy, this lonely nerd, ranting in front of a big screen TV, staring at his Guild Wars 2 background while his Steam client flashes because someone's texting him at the time. This is what happens when you just get him ranting alone in front of a computer, giving him a high-quality microphone that obviously makes his voice sound a lot worse than it actually is in real life. I just bunch of what am I talking about? We were talking about the Secret World, or dang, man, we're talking about the Old Republic, not the Secret World. That's like few topics down. I don't know, man. We're done with that, right? We can move on. Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2, though, man. Guild Wars is a really fun game. I'm just figuring this out, that Guild Wars is a very fun game. After it's been out for 6 years, maybe? Something like that, longer than WoW. I remember buying it when it first came out, and I enjoyed it a lot. I still have my first character, not on the account that's active though, and it's not my active character. And but the division's actually growing a little bit. I got a lot of my friends, like real life friends, in the division, and Zeus and Oberon, of course, are doing a wonderful job with it. I like how they take the advice of the membership as a whole, and there are no like inactives for Guild Wars. There's people that are like really die hard about Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2. And the reason I'm talking about the member status of people in the Guild Wars, and I just skipped over for the Old Republic, is because in a future segment, or a future show rather, I'm going to actually bring in people that know more about the inner workings of the Old Republic than I do. Because I'm not going to pretend to understand what I know what's going on. I just know hearsay and sort of what I know about the game. So, you know what? Content for the future. God bless you people. So pushy. You're already thinking about things to say. You're already thinking about ways to bash me on YouTube. What did I ever do to you? Huh? Huh? Stupid trolls. Like the only people listening to this are Midnight Squadron. I'm calling you a stupid troll. This is awesome. Don't give me a microphone ever again. But Guild Wars 2, the hype for it's like an all-time high. There's just so much structure going into this game. I could talk about it all day, but I'd rather bring in Zeus and Oberon and talk about it with them in the future. And then I can grill them, be like, hey, yeah, that's right. Who do you bow to? TheEnd, baby. Me. I like to joke with Zeus about it all the time. I'm not going to tell you how we joke about it. That'll be safe for the future. And they'll probably listen to this and be like, oh, yeah, well, snarky comment. But guess what? I just grilled you before you could get to it. What's up now? But yeah, man, cool games. The Old Republic, definitely going to be like the best story experience ever in an MMO. I can just guess. Guild Wars 2, way by far and apart the coolest MMO that's going to be coming out in the future, the near future. So I mean, let's talk about other games, like ones that we're actually playing right now, huh? How about Black Ops and Battlefield? I'm throwing them in the same crate because I've played like the exact same amount of multiplayer games in both of them, like 3. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to be talking about games that I've not even really played. No, I mean, obviously, when you're talking about Black Ops, I'm not trying to give you a review of the game. I'm just trying to tell you what we are doing as a clan / organization / however I described it earlier that escapes my mind right now, but I'm sure it was probably pretty cool. Like, it's active. It's really active. And the problem is, it is very active. Why is that a problem? Well, I think people are sort of happy